Good evening, everybody. Doing today a review of a Magicka dragonknight on the newest update 45. Magicka dragonknight, don't see too many of them unless they're wearing Zenkosh. We are not doing so today. Beautiful little setup here, dual wheeled front bar, two-handed back bar. We are on the PTS. Let's dive into it. A lot of changes with sets, tested out a lot of stuff, and this is the best results I've seen so far. So, one of our two 5-piece sets here, front bar perfected Null Arca daggers for that glorious crystal launch once we have 3 stacks. Nice little passive damage, don't have to worry about too much. Front main hand is charged with flame, offhand is charged with poison, pretty standard setup here. Backhand, we're running the Maelstrom's perfected great sword infused with weapon damage, pretty standard here. Great for those direct damage attacks, which we do use. We are running a monster set, Zons, 1-piece medium, 1-piece light, both divines, both max magicka. And our other 5-piece set is going to be Highland Sentinel for that Sentinel's Eye. Great for parsing, not so great for content, but as we finish up I'll tell you some sets that you can put in its place for content. All armor, divines with max magicka. Jewelry are Null Arcas, all 3 are bloodthirsty. All 3 use that multi-effect enchantment, either the spell damage or the weapon damage. Which one you want is going to be up to you and whatever race you're doing. I'm on a Dark Elf right now. I find my magicka handles pretty well. My stamina does not, so I put a 1 magicka, 2 stamina for those extra small little recoveries. All attributes into magicka, of course. Looks like update 45 puts a special little thing here for the Mundus, and we are using the Thief. And we are using the Ghastly Eyeball for parsing. Skills on the front bar, Flames of Oblivion, great passive damage here. Not to mention great for trash, large enemies, or large groupings of enemies for those 3 fireballs. Oh, I'm sorry, I read that wrong. I'm thinking about the heal, the other morph of this thing. This is just a single fireball. Wait, no, I'm blind. I am legally blind. Forget I said anything. Barb Trap over here, great bleed damage. Slotting on the front bar for the passive Fighters Guild. Passive Venomous Claw, one hell of a dot that increases damage over time. Great for poison damage, pairs well with your Ardent Flame passive. Molten Whip, our main spammable for this build. Great for setting off balance, and not to mention the stacks of Seething Fury every single time we hit another Ardent Flame skill. Speaking of which, our third Ardent Flame skill, Engulfing Flames, great for Dragon Knights, even on stamina builds, as it increases damage that an enemy receives from flame. Flawless Dawnbreaker, passive here for the Fighters Guild. Don't really use it too much. Standard Might, standard ultimate here in the back bar, our main ultimate. Eruption, great area over time damage, great dot. Stampede, our source of that weapon damage enchant on the back bar. Nice little dot that goes with it, and procs that Maelstrom's 2-piece. Scalding Room, great dot for flame damage. Burning Talons, if you find yourself in it with an abundance of magicka, I recommend that you use this to fill the void. This is a great dot. Unfortunately, it requires you to recast every 5 seconds. So if you can handle it, go for it. Otherwise, slot degeneration here. And of course, Carve for the pretty hefty dot. Champion points here for the blue tree. Little interesting, of course, I'm running Deadly Aim, Thermitage, Wrathful Strikes, and Backstabber. Unfortunately, this build, you're going to need to run Backstabber. I've tried different variations. I just spent the last hour and a half doing it. Unfortunately, you need to run Backstabber. This is the best results I could find. If you find better results, you are a better man than I. And lastly but not least are potions for the day. I am using traditional spell power potions here, nothing fancy. I don't find myself needing weapon power pots. If you do slot degeneration, you could look into tripots or even ultimate regeneration pots. But that is on you, and again, how you fit the bill. So this is a very dot-heavy build. Very, very dot-heavy build. A lot of bar swapping here. So let's get into it. So what we're going to do, normally guilds and core raid leads will allow you to parse your DK and get stacks of Seething Flame first, Seething Fury, so we're going to do so. But considering how soon we're going to have to start the parse, I'll go into this rotation here. What we're going to do, after we have our Seething Fury and the dummy is resetting, we're going to hit the potion, then Flames of Oblivion. We're going to put down our Barbed Trap, swap to the back bar, put down Scalding Rune, put down Eruption. By that time, the dummy will be up. We will hit it with Stampede, then Carve, switch to the front bar. Our Seething Fury is probably about to be ending, so we're going to hit either Engulfing Flames or Venomous Claw. Swap back to the back bar, hit those Talons, use the standard, and we're into the thick of things. So let's see it, huh? Get this guy nice and activated. There's 3 stacks, reset. I'm going to go ahead and get everything laid out. There he is. Ultimate, and we are cooking. Now, because you're using Highland Sentinel, it is very important that you stay very still. If you're one of those folks that likes to have those barriers to help you stay in place, you're more than welcome to use it. I don't see the need, but hey, not everybody can be me, huh? Now, I am very interested to see how my parse goes this run. I did swap Burning Talons and Barbed Trap on my bar lineup to see how it would do for the Extra Fighters Guild passive. Not 100% how it's going to do. The best I've gotten on this build is 108. We'll see if we can do any better. You do want to try to cast Scalding Rune and Barbed Trap equally, with at least 2 seconds remaining, as it does have a cast time. Alright, so we have our standard up here. So we're going to get all 3 stacks of Seething Fury, and then we're going to hit that Standard of Might. Having those extra weapon and spell damage to hit that ultimate really does make the difference. Of course, we want to keep Stampede going as much as we can for that extra the weapon damage enchant. A lot of dots in this build. A lot of dots, but fairly manageable. And of course you want to make sure you're a little preventative with your carve, because if you lose those stacks, you are done. It is a pain in the butt. Not the end of the world for inside content, but I like to try to keep it up, even in content, especially single target bosses. We have our ultimate up. I don't think we need it. I'm just going to press. I'm going to hit my Dawnbreaker. Nice quick for those extra weapon and spell damage. Alright, let's see how we did. 105. Not my best. I hit 108, 107 a little while ago. Hit 108 with Barb Trap on the back bar. Not 100% on how it would look. Mainly because my weaving is not that good, especially on dot heavy builds. But granted, 105 is pretty good for a Magdk. Definitely not necessarily. You don't see very many parse DKs in groups these days. It is unfortunate, but it's the way the cookie crumbles. Again, I like this so far. Null Arca would be good for content, especially single target trial bosses. Highland Sentinel, I would swap this out with maybe, what is it? Rune Carver from, God, what is it called? What's the dungeon called? Come on, show it to me. It doesn't show me. Rune Carver's Blaze. This is one that you could use in lieu of Highland Sentinel. Unfortunately, Rune Carver is a light armor set, so you don't want to run it on body. It's also very situational. If you do not have Rune Carver activated on the back bar, when you swap bars, you're going to lose that damage over time for all of your dots, and DKs are all about dots. That's why we see Zen Kosh's running on DKs and not any other class. I did try Pillar of Nirnaut. Does just about as well. I did try Reliquant out. This is update 45. This is with the updated passives here from the 2 and the 4 and the 5 line bar for the perfected. I didn't see too much of a difference comparatively to Reliquant on the current update in the game. However, for this build, I found it significantly less damage, roughly about 98, 99k. So this is probably what I'm going to use going forward. I tried it with Harpooner's Waiting Kilt as well. Just use Backstabber. Not the end of the world. You can pretty much get through most of it. Most content with it. But yeah, pretty great. Hope you all like it. Let me know if you have any other builds you're looking for. Otherwise, go out and hope everyone is stoked as I am for update 45.